Are you guys are live?
Dude, Arthur.
Is this real? Is this happening?
This is so good. Okay, everybody who's gonna join us shortly, you're in for a treat. Even though there's nobody that's hearing this right now or seeing this right now, but out there at the moment, um, uh, we're live right now, honey. Okay. Out there at the moment, apparently we're live and we're doing this via OBS. So that's open broadcast system. You're going to see graphics flying around. You're going to see all sorts of interesting stuff. We're like leveling up our game today. This is the first time we're doing it. We did do a little bit of a run through last week, but we just decided we need to get going on this thing. There might be a few kinks and stuff for us to sort through. That's cool. We'll sort it through. How you doing, Arthur? How was your weekend? I am ridiculous. Oh, holy jeez, I am buzzing right now.
So
Can you feel the energy?
it's magnetic. So I opened up Facebook and I'm watching the live stream because I want to see what's going on here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna see it after the fact. All I got to do is trust that there's stuff happening.
Yeah,
We've got like a countdown happening. It's no longer this thing.
There's a countdown timer. There's a logo. There's like a banner at the bottom saying we're going live at 11 a.m. EST.
All of that stuff's happening, and we have like people like we got David who's running our audio visual right now, and he's going to cue us on when I start yelling and screaming and all that kind of stuff about our intro. All of it, man. This is so good.
This game is leveled up.
Okay, so we're doing pre-show. Okay, let's do some pre-show right now. I just got to do a little bit of pre-show for you. In that I just got a new laptop, and I have to say it's a Windows laptop, and boy, do I ever hate Apple right now. You do not realize how much I hate Apple at the moment.
Are we gonna have a fight, Brent?
No, listen for me. I appreciate that they've done a heck of a lot. It's amazing what they've done. But the keyboard on this thing, you know what they did? They did like, usually I do Alt F4 to close a window. That's a normal thing to do on a Windows system. It doesn't allow you to do that, and you can't change it. Alt F4 is like mute the mic type thing. Right? You have to do alt funk, like you have to use so they've taken this beautiful keyboard that Lenovo used to have, and they've simplified it, and they've simplified it, and they've simplified it, and they've taken functionality away, which is so much what Apple does. Now, I get it. That's great for the marketplace and all that type of stuff, but I'm just like, why is everybody else following this when that's not what I want from this? I want to be able to do Alt F4. So Alt FU, Apple. Man. Okay. That's it.
Got anything else you want to get off your chest?
Nope. That I think is it. I think we're going to be getting ready for pre-show live.
Are you mad at Apple, or are you mad that Lenovo is a follower of the trends?
Dude, the marketplace is the marketplace. Follow the trends if that's where your money is. But man.
So are you mad at Apple, or are you mad at the people who buy the computers?
I'm just mad. Okay, let's go. I'm ready to go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's roll it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You've tuned in to COVID Marketing with Brent Kobayashi and Arthur Tutt. The show to support small business not just to survive, but to thrive.
That's right. We are live with COVID Marketing episode number 85. We are coming to you weekdaily at 11:11 Eastern Standard Time. If you have questions on marketing, business, or whatever, you let us know in the comments wherever you find folk are seeing this. I am Brent Kobayashi, president of Kobayashi Zeitguys, a marketing agency here in Toronto, Canada. And with me is Mr. Arthur Tutt, a marketing specialist at the KZ. So if you like what you see, because it's glorious right now, it's got all of this awesome stuff, you need to share it with your friends. Click subscribe, click the bell, click the notify button, start a watch party, do all the magical stuff that allows you and the rest of this world, the trillions that are in the future that will be watching this, to tune in. So today, we are dedicating this episode to sales techniques. So I know this is a marketing show, but on the end point usually of marketing, it's actually a little bit more of a circle, but we'll call it an end point for now. We have to finally convert something into something, right? So all that marketing gets your awareness, your attention, your thought leadership, all of that kind of stuff. And then at some point or another, whether you want to avoid it or not, you need to turn it into something, a relationship that actually has a transaction happening, an exchange, usually for businesses of cash, some sort of money. And so with us, we're going to get Arthur. You're doing some amazing stuff. You have some amazing techniques. I love what you do. So we're going to get into some sales techniques to get your foot in the door. Like this is actually outreach type sales stuff. This is the stuff that, this is the cold calling thing that sends shivers down people's spines. And this is a way of doing that that actually creates a warm connection. It's absolutely,
you could actually get somebody signed up, signed on the dotted line, close the contract, close the deal.
Yeah.
And so have some transfer of money.
So that's part of the closing part. But one of the biggest things about sales is actually reaching out. Now, you have a technique that you've been using on LinkedIn specifically, which I think is super fantastic. So why don't you get us going on that stuff? So where do you start with your LinkedIn sales technique, sales tactics?
Well, what I want to say is for anybody who avoids cold calling like the plague, and rightfully so, this is a way to start the conversation on a warmer footing. So there's a few different steps, and I want to keep it simple and contained here. But so what this involves is reaching out to prospects using LinkedIn. And so the first step of that is going to be connecting with people on LinkedIn. Now, there is a tool that we use. You don't need to use this, but it helps a lot. Now, it is a pro tool. It is a paid tool add-on to LinkedIn called the Sales Navigator. And the reason it's really powerful is that if you have a very specific audience that you're trying to connect with, whether it's a specific profession, industry, seniority, like if you're just trying to reach like the CEOs of companies that are 5,000 plus, specifically in Canada or in Bangladesh or wherever it is that you're looking, you can use the Sales Navigator to really drill down and find that specific person, industry, group.
Job title, even interests. I think you can do interests on it as well.
There's some interest. There's also like groups that people are involved with. So if you know that your ideal prospect would be in a certain group, you can find those people that are in groups, people that have certain job titles in their profile. You can break it down by age. So if you just want, all right, I just want the CEOs that are 55 plus.
Gotcha. And so groups, just so, for those of you who don't know, LinkedIn has similar to Facebook groups, but these are areas where people can go to have conversations that are specific to one thing. Some of them can be private, some of them can be public or closed. You have to join them, that type of thing. So it's a way of identifying interest. So if you're interested in startups and you want entrepreneur startups, there are groups out there specifically for CEOs, startups, founders. There are groups out there specifically for human resources professionals. There are groups out there that are for sales reps, that type of thing. So depending on what you're trying to do and what industry you're trying to target, the group might be an interesting way to segment and find those specific people.
For
and
sure,
there's thousands of them.
And so if you really wanted to refine it, let's go with the CEO of a startup, right? Is you could search for, okay, I just want people with the job title CEO, that they're in a LinkedIn group related to startups or venture capital, they're in a company that's smaller than 100 people. Let's say you just want to target, the young CEO. So, okay, they're under 35, and that's how granular you can get. And then LinkedIn gives you this whole list of people that fit exactly those criteria.
Perfect. Maybe you have team building or culture building or that type of thing, and you figure that target is your prime target. So you just sort of sorted that out. One of the things I'd like to say, so this LinkedIn Sales Navigator that you're using, I think it's like $100 a month Canadian, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think officially it's $90 a month Canadian.
Okay, perfect. Groups is one way of connecting with people if you don't have the paid sales tool, because you can join these groups and start getting that relationship built. The Sales Navigator, I think, is an interesting way to do that cold outreach, which you're going to get into in a second.
Yeah. Although a quick fun fact. So with the Sales Navigator, they do give you 1 month for free that you don't you don't need to. I don't think you need to put in a credit card. Actually, no, I think I'm wrong on that. You do need to put in your credit card, but you can cancel before the end of the first month. Gotcha. So if you want to test it out, you can do a month for free, send out a bunch of connection requests, see if it works. And if you're like, all right, I got all the connections I need, you can cancel it before you have to pay.
Gotcha. Okay, so you've used the Sales Navigator, or you've somehow figured out your target of people that you want to connect with. What's your first step?
So once you found your group of people, then you start sending off connection requests, right? Because what you can do is you can basically, LinkedIn gives you that whole list of people, and then you can send them a personalized message and be like, hey Joe, really want to connect with you, XYZ. Put in something clever, maybe find like a good quote or something, and send the connection request. Now keep in mind, not everybody is going to accept your connection request, because some people are going to be like, who is this person that I don't know asking to connect with me? But what I found in my experience is that a good majority of people, I'd say close to 50%, they accept the connection request, right? And so if you send out enough of these, you start building up a little roster of new connections.
So is there anything you found that kind of warms that connection request up? Because I get, hey, I'd like to add you to my network.
Yeah, so I would stay away from anything that sounds really generic and boring. And so something that I've actually started doing is I've started writing like a quote that I find kind of inspiring, and to me that adds a more of a personalized touch, because I get these automated messages all the time being like, hey Arthur, I was looking through your profile and I noticed we had several interests in common. Let's connect. And I'm just like, I don't know who you are or what you want, and I'm really not that interested to find out anything more.
Gotcha. So maybe a good way of figuring out how to connect is look at the ones that you're getting and which you're like, that's no. And the ones that you actually feel like, you know what? Okay, that guy sounds like a person that might be actually interested in me.
Yeah, send something that's a little bit more real.
Okay. Is this InMail? There's this thing on InMail that you can send messages. This is slightly different, right?
InMail, I think, is part of LinkedIn Premium. Sales Navigator is a different add-on.
Okay, gotcha. And so this is a connection thing. How upfront are you about what you want this connection to be? Is it I'm a marketer? Are you just really making the connection at this point?
Yeah, so I'm just starting the connection, and then once I get into the next piece, which is the personalized video outreach,
Okay.
that's where I get a little bit more detailed about who I am and what nefarious things I'm up to.
All right, let's next piece this.
So, okay, so the next big piece is if you think about all the connection requests and messages that you typically get on LinkedIn, you'll find like you get a lot of automated messages, or the messages that sound very automated and just generic. And somebody will, like, I've had a few of these, like I've gone to like a networking event, and then I've accepted the connection request of like a recruiter or a headhunter. And then they'll send you a message being like, yeah, Arthur, I was looking at your marketing profile, and we have several marketing prospects and blah blah blah, and here's a link to my Calendly, schedule a call and let's talk, right? And it's very generic, it's very impersonal, and there's not really a lot to go on, right?
All the generic and impersonal people sound the same. Hi, Arthur. Okay, Continue. So, okay. So that doesn't work,
And
or it doesn't work as well for you.
like the name of the agency where you work is clearly just like copy and pasted in.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So where I flip the script is I go from making a personalized video message,
Mm,
right?
okay.
And so a key element of that is I start the video and I say the person's name. So again, this isn't a copy pasted video that I've just sent to everybody. This is a personalized video that I have made for you, right? And so already immediately the first person feels a little bit special. It's like, oh wow, this person actually took the time to make a video for me.
Mm,
To continue with the personalization, and there's a lot of ways that you can do this, but I'll use an example here. If we're looking for a marketing, like to take on a client for marketing purposes, right? And we're looking at their website or their use of like, do they have Google Analytics, right? I could then go on their website. And so what I use is a screen recording software that records my screen, and it's also recording my face. So they can see what's on my screen, they can see my face.
mm,
And then I can go through their website and I can offer them some suggestions. It could be like a mini strategy session, being like, oh yeah, I was looking at your website and I noticed, have you considered adding this and this? Or I noticed, you don't have Google Analytics installed, or are you aware that, you might be missing out on this and this, and giving them a very personalized tour experience strategy session where it's, and again, what's important here is that it's showing I am taking the time to look at you specifically and your situation specifically. I am diagnosing what I see initially. Again, okay, it's not the full picture. We don't have a deep relationship yet, but what I'm seeing on the surface, this is some personalized information that I'm sharing with you because I'm trying to help you, because we're talking about giving service first.
so quite clearly your first step forward, almost always with sales, at least on LinkedIn and these LinkedIn in-mails and all this kind of stuff that you get, the person is trying to extract value first, meaning it's valuable for you to be connected with me and for you to be thinking about buying something from me. It's valuable for me for that. Instead, you're as you said, you call it flipping the script, right? You're saying, I'm going to provide you value first. Now, I just got to back up a little bit here because,
Back it up.
we said, oh yeah, do the video and everybody who's watching this right now, you've got to get this. Like, this is super important. It's not just that it's personalized. It's not just that you get to see Arthur's face. It's not just that you get to get a sense of who you are and you're adding value. It's that this, like all great marketing, is different. The fact that it's video generally makes it harder, right? So I can, especially with chat, like with messages back and forth, I can have an entire system which just pumps out 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a minute, right? I can just like really go to town with that. And that might be the way you want to go, maybe. But depending on what you're offering, especially if you're offering a service base that tends to be higher value, that tends to have a bigger engagement, that tends to have the whole relationship thing, which is what a lot of people that are watching are really doing, is you're looking for the relationship. That's almost every single small business out there. That's one of your key value propositions. This is now upping the game. You're like establishing trust right off the bat. You're standing out. That's what brand marketing is. You're standing out. And it's harder, so your competitors aren't doing this. It takes more time, and therefore the message that comes in, I mean, Arthur, we've talked about this. What happens?
You stand out and people say, yes, I want to work with you.
Yeah, they say, oh, wow. Like, how many times have you gotten that reply back that says, wow? Like, it happens consistently.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I'm not actually really interested, but really thank you for taking your time. Like, you get into a conversation, right? Even if you don't get the sales, you now have the relationship. Like, you're literally disrupting the standard. I'm getting messages, I'm filing, I'm moving, copying and pasting from this inbox to outbox to this to that. I have to click. I've got 3 notifications now. I just got to unread and get through all of this kind of stuff, right? You're just trying to, You're basically, everybody out there is playing Tetris and the information is coming at them faster and faster and faster and faster. And what you're doing is you're saying, whoa, okay, this one is actually worth noticing. This one, it's not the standard thing that's happening. I'm actually, oh, this guy, this person, this person on the other end is giving me something valuable and has taken the time to actually say, you know what, I'm a human being. I'm not just flying Tetris blocks at you as fast as you can, and you got to sort through all those things. There are people out there, I'm one of them, who when you get the notification on your phone, on your laptop, on your inbox and your LinkedIn, and you're like, oh, okay, I have to clear it. I have to clear it. All I'm doing now is picking up information from this ditch and shoveling it over there. Right? We're literally digging ditches and filling them back in with bits and bytes. And so this is like, that's what you're doing here, everybody. When you're following this, you're interrupting the script, you're getting attention, you're establishing trust. It's so good.
That was, I love the passion in that, and the Tetris analogy.
Oh my gosh. We are playing this game. We sometimes forget that we're playing a game and that we're humans. And so when you're flinging, well, you see it at an extreme, right? It is so cheap to email millions of people that it's just like, hey, buy these pills to 1 million people, hoping to get $50 in sales.
Yep. And we get them all the time, and you know where they go? They go straight into the junk folder.
Yeah. And you put up defenses against that kind of stuff. Anyway, so all right. So you're going to do personalized, it's like a personalized strategy system. I know. Breathe. Pull it together. All right. We have more value to give. That's what this is all about, is giving the value. All right. So there you go. Literally all that stuff that's happening on LinkedIn, there's so many automated bot LinkedIn techniques out there. We're just talking with somebody who that's what their technique was. They're working on putting that system together. I don't have a problem with it. I really actually morally don't have an issue with it. It's just that it's interesting. Actually, it's a good thing in many ways, because the more noise there is out there, the more opportunities there are to do things that are the opposite of noise and to cut through it. And this is one of the things. And you get faster at it as you go, right? You get the rhythm down. At the beginning, it's going to be slow. You might take half a day to send one message. Arthur, one of the things I've noticed about is with you is you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to put this thing together, and you just start talking and it comes out. And that's come with practice. I know this show has come with practice. Like, we're in the middle of our 10,000 hours.
Well, there have been a few bloopers, so we'll we'll keep those in a side log. It might be fun to actually like edit together a blooper reel at some point.
Oh, for sure. And the bloopers, quite frankly, are my favorite thing. Okay. They are my favorite thing, because that shows, especially when you own it, that shows you're in the game and you're just going. Because nobody really remembers show 26 where something didn't quite go right. Like, nobody, even our regulars, I don't remember it, and I might have been like, oh my gosh, this isn't working out. There's shows that didn't work out. I don't remember it. So I'm not going to expect anybody else on the other end to remember it, especially when we're doing awesome now and tomorrow and the next day and 3 months from now and a year from now. Anyways, now we're truly regressing, going on a tangent. It's 11:32. You had one point that you wanted to mention, which was like post new content regularly, and that is something we're just going to get into deeper a little bit on a future episode, because we are going to continue the sales thing, because it is super important. Do you want to quickly summarize what that means for you? And
yeah,
the reason why?
The whole point is that a lot of the times you're not going to make the sale right away. And by continuing to have this stream of useful content that you're posting out, one day down the line, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 6 years, I don't know, somebody might come around and say, hey, you know what? I'm actually ready to buy that thing now.
Right. Once you got that connection, start posting, get in that person's thought process. The next video set that you send, maybe 3 months from now, they're like, For some reason, I trust this guy, right? Because you've been seeing you for a while. It's data points. They talk about marketing where a person needs to see a company 16 times before they're like comfortable with buying and they trust, and they don't even know why they trust. That's okay. So we can get into that point a little bit deeper. I know that we can. There's more to that. So we will in the future one. So I love how you do this. It actually sounds easy and seamless. You know, it's a lot easier, I would say, than picking up the call and say, hey, hi, I'd like to interrupt your day at this moment and talk with you about this thing that you probably don't want. Right?
Mhm.
That's cold calling. That sends shivers down almost everybody's spine, except I think you. You're interested.
Sure.
Okay, you get the shivers?
Oh yeah.
For that? Okay. Well, anyways, do you get the shivers for this LinkedIn thing?
Not nearly as bad.
It's not, yes, totally. So, and then once you're going, it's like you're in the middle of a conversation. Okay. So with that, before we go into the outro, if you have more questions about sales, about LinkedIn, about any other digital marketing stuff, you can tell us in the comments on our Facebook page, on YouTube, or email us at hello@kobayashi.ca. That's KOBAYASHI.ca. Ask us. Actually, all of you that are watching right now, I'd like you to leave a YouTube comment. Think of a question if you can, but definitely leave a YouTube comment, because the only YouTube comments that we're getting right now are, hey, sexy, blah, 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 right? There's basically adult entertainment spam. So I would like to have other ones. Yes.
I haven't seen those.
Okay. So let's go for our outro now.
But I mean, it is true. We are pretty sexy.
It's actually offering apparently that, but actually maybe it's about us. Maybe it's actually saying, hey, would you like to be on our adult entertainment spam receiving end? Could be. All right, let's do it. There we go.
You've tuned in to COVID Marketing with Brent Kobayashi and Arthur Tutt, the show to support small business not just to survive, but to thrive.
Thank you. That's it for episode number 85. Apparently, this music that you're listening to right now has David, our audiovisual specialist, who's been introduced to the world today with all of the awesome stuff that's happening. It reminds him of Downton Abbey. So apparently I'm supposed to speak in a British accent. So this is my British accent right now. Apparently it's my wonderful wife here is saying, no, stop. This is not a good idea.
That was like South African.
I am doing it's British accent right now. Don't you? Oh, geez. I feel like I'm going Chinese, South African.
Scottish.
Anyways, do not ask me to do an accent. If you knew me, you would know not to ask to do an accent, because that's the only way it goes. That's the only accent I know. Man, boom, that was awesome. All right. Are we ready to do the cut? Cut?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
cut. All right. Cut.
Did we cut? I
no,
feel
you
like
have to do the cut.
I'm hands off.
Okay, no, but you have to signal the cut by saying